Oh, there she is.
There you are. Hi, beautiful.
Look again. Look twice,
again.
right?
Right.
Look twice.
Look twice. Save a life. That's right.
So you don't have to donate.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. So
How are you, gorgeous?
My work stuff. Oh, I'm doing good. I mean, since I saw you last week, we drove all the way out to Massachusetts, 1,100 miles one way, and taught a class for Bob and Andrea LaBarbera and her husband Bob Zala and the youngsters. And so that was really cool. It was at Faultline Customs. They just built a new building with heated floors and stuff. It's like really cool. And we got to teach in their new building and meet a lot of really great people. And then we turned around and got back in the car and drove for 2 days to get back home. So that's what I've been doing.
Who went with you? Did Tony go?
Yeah. It was just nice. I was trapped in the car with Tony Pan.
Oh my God. The dream ride would be to have Tony Pan, Rogue, Barry. There's a few. If we could just have like a big station wagon full of them and then just drive and listen to the shit that they talk. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That would be really fabulous.
It's pretty funny. Pretty funny.
Yeah, we'll
so
get a big school bus someday and do that.
It's Tuesday.
It is.
It's messy background day.
I know.
Oh,
what's that?
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
Look at this beautiful Paco frame.
Look at what a big space you got to put that big motor in.
Oh, yes, ma'am. It's going to be so good. Yep. And, that's it, the universe and the timing and how everything works out. And it's good. They sent me neck cups and all the good stuff to go with it. And so, it's been a really good day. I was excited to see the FedEx guy. I'm not usually too happy to see him. He always delivers my stuff down the street. So I don't know if he tried to bring it down there and they were like, no. Sometimes I get boxes over there and they'll come down and say, oh, they left this here. And it's like, did they leave it or did they deliver it? Because I was here. She's like, no, I think he has us confused because I get her packages all the time. So he knocked on the door today because I have the buzzer outside when we're working. And I brought the dog to work and she's going crazy. And I'm like, what? And he's got his face up against he always puts his nose and his face up against my clean glass window. It's like, okay. So then he's like, delivery. And I'm like, and I look and Don's like, oh, I got this. And he opened the door and I was like, oh, and I'm like, wait. And he's like, what's your name? And we spent 10 minutes trying to spell my name with the FedEx guy because he's not from here. And, I come back and Don's like drooling all over this thing. And I'm like, hey, wait a second. I'm like, that's no fair. He's like, oh, I got to get in whatever time I can before you get in there. And I get no time. So he was loving on it. He was all.
Yeah. So, I just got to realizing that when we did our show last week with Charlie Crew, we had not made the big announcement that we made this week.
Correct.
So we probably ought to mention that, it took so long to get the frame and you can't rush a good thing, right? I mean,
no,
this is it.
We have so many magnificent people that want to participate in this. So there's time involved, time in engraving the primary, which we're going to see soon. I know that got shipped out. So I expect to see that in the next day or two. I'll send pictures and we'll have Miss Erin do a nice little post with that. Hey, Jeff, I see you out there. Thanks for joining us. So it's really cool because, we have Dana from Metalwood Garage and we have so many incredible people that are, participating. And now we have a lot of people who, realize that the frame took some time and they're like, oh, wow, I thought this was going to be like a rush job. And I was like, you can't rush like fine wine, it has to do what it does. And it kind of really relieved everything because so much going on in the industry with the museum and their anniversary. And, we want to have time for everybody to go around and see the bike and do the things once it's done and sell as many tickets as we can. And so, and we want, we have a painter who is like, I mean, you talk talk about top of the game, and he is just on point. You don't want to say, here, do this, and I need it in 2 weeks, you know?
Yeah, right, exactly. This is not a bike build competition.
No, we're not going to. We're not looking to go win a trophy at a show or be at the, you know.
I tell you what, before we talk too much about that, because I think we should bring our guest in because this is like her too. Like this is her house, wheelhouse is this.
She's the reason I got that today.
That's it. Bring Marilyn Stemp in.
Miss Marilyn
Stemp. I'm like, who doesn't know Marilyn Stemp? Come on, you guys, over here on the right-hand side, those people that are in the chat, We
got Jeff, we got Ditch, we got Tommy Snydergaard. We got people coming in.
Yep. So we got Mama Ditch there for you.
We do. Miss Marilyn, how are you?
Oh, I see that frame, that beautiful Paco frame.
Gorgeous.
Super exciting.
It's its own work of art. I love, this is the part that gets me excited the most, is because now, you get to see it piece by piece. It's like a Johnny Cash song, one piece at a time. That's what it is, Except it won't have 2 headlights on one side and 3 on the other. It'll be
right.
It'll be good.
Yeah, it's awesome. Big props to Steve Massacott for coming through.
Definitely. And the whole crew at Paco, they're always so, and it's funny because people don't understand the history of Paco, but they've been around since like 1959. Well, S&S started in 58, and I think Paco was either 59 or 62, something like that. They were established, but they were at the front of aftermarket parts because you didn't have that back then. You had the different brands of motorcycles, and anything you wanted, you cut it up, you chopped it up, and then they came along and they gave you replacement parts. They also made it easy for you to take some of the newer parts and make a frame similar to old style and the rigid frames and stuff like that, and make it so that they were utilized to get that good chopper look, or again, replace your frame. I tell everybody, I have one bike that was 40 years old and the sides of the frame rusted. And so what do you do with that? Well, you go to Paco and you get a replacement frame and you put all your parts right back in there to a freshen up while you're going after it, and you get to keep them alive. That's what we do. Generation after generation after generation.
Well, it seems like Chopper Chicky. I don't know the original, the OG of Chopper Parts and Paco. You guys have been running together for a long time.
Long time.
And I just feel like the history and the heritage in that company, and the same people are still there.
Yes.
Ron comes to work every day.
Every day.
No, it doesn't. Well, while we were waiting, like, holding our breath and waiting, it seemed like it was taking a long time. But honestly, they have a 6-month wait period.
Yes.
So they actually pushed this through like double time to get this to us. So that's another big kudos, to them for, letting us, or, to getting this to us right away. So,
yeah.
They all the time on so many different charity projects and shows. When I had the first couple of Evo shows, they were pretty much a rolling chassis, a frame, metal and wheels and oil tank, fenders. I mean, they just put it all together and shipped it out, and that was an amazing prize.
We're going to get someone from Paco to come and be on this show. So
we'd love to have Mr. Paul. That would be good, or Steve, or both actually. That's funny. My first build when I was 15, it was an accident, right? So the bike was in an accident, and I bought a brand new Paco frame, and I restored the whole bike. I brought it back to what I wanted it to be, and I rode that bike for almost 18 years, got in an accident, bent the frame, and my good brother from another mother, Freaky Freddy, God rest his soul, he rode that bent Paco frame until it rusted the underneath on his pan head for another 20 years. It's just go, 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 go. So yeah, they have beautiful Springer front ends. They have so much good stuff, and gas tanks and everything, swing arms that you need. So anybody interested in doing their own project or their own build, make sure that you definitely go ahead and purchase Paco parts, because they're worth their weight in gold.
I hear that girder front ends too. You can't buy those anymore. So they have a prototype out. They're testing it and then hopefully putting it into production.
Really?
Yeah, big.
Oh, that's super cool. I had a girder on a pink bike I did. It was a Donnie Smith signature series, and I remember I got out of, I think it was custom chrome, out of the catalog, and they had changed his design. And I called him up and I said, this thing's not working. And he's like, oh, you got that funky shock. He's like, let me send you an original Hagon shock. And I was like, did Donnie Smith just say he was going to send me something for my motor? That was it. Because he's like, he's my, I had posters of him on my wall when I was a teenager. He knows it. Miss Dawn knows it. So he's still hot. He still rocks that hot mullet. And he just had another birthday, 85 this year?
Oh, yeah, a little older. I don't think he wants to talk about it. But
oh, come on.
Well, Marilyn was just hanging out with him, so.
And you look cute as a button, too. I saw pictures of you taking pictures of somebody got a picture of you taking pictures. I love those shots.
Yeah, that's so funny. But I was just glad to be there. I helped Neil do some photos for the show. I usually just go for fun, so I was feeling the stress this time of having to actually work. But I got over it.
You take such good photos, though. You are a magnificent photo.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about Marilyn. Like that's what we want to do with these shows is we want to feature some.
Oh yeah, we're not allowed to gab like we're just sitting at the coffee table.
I mean, we forget because it's kind of everybody knows Marilyn. But you know what? Maybe they don't know some of the cool things that you've been involved with. You were in photojournalism for many years. So can you talk a little bit about that?
She had her own magazine.
Well, that was, do dumb things when you're young. You don't know any better, right? So when Dennis and I got married, he was the biker guy, and I was just, really what was I, like a milquetoast, white bread hangout girl in my 20s who worked at
young and impressionable, right?
Yeah. And I just thought he was the coolest thing in the world. He came to work at the printing company on his shovel head.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, just
nothing sexier than that. Oh my God.
So it was always his idea. Once we got married, he was such an entrepreneurial spirit just in his head. He wanted to try this business and that business. He'd had a couple of bike shops and he'd had some like other kinds of printing things, just and an artist. He would travel in the hippie van up and down the East Coast and sell his art at Las Olas.
What year was that?
Oh, heavens, like in the late 70s into the 80s.
Okay.
We weren't together then. That was before I knew him. I don't think I probably would have hated him then, but anyway, it didn't matter. Ultimately, we just came on this idea that we could do a motorcycle magazine because he knew about motorcycles. And I had a journalism degree and a little photojournalism. And he was an artist. He could do the graphics. It sounded really simple. But we didn't know anything about ad sales, distribution, subscription, accounting. I mean, but you're on issue 3 or 4 or 8 and you just have to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's just what we did. We just kept going with Ironworks and
started. That was one of the greatest magazines there was.
Well, we had a little kid by then, and I didn't want to be embarrassed with, kind of funky biker mags when my mother-in-law or my mom came over or whatever. So we thought, we'll just make one we're not embarrassed of.
Right.
We'll just, keep it all above board and no bro talk, full sentences, and we can make a go of it.
And you did. Yeah.
And you featured Tony's Tony Pans, my husband's bike, his panhead in there. So yes. Yeah, we've have that all framed up and everything, and in our family room, and so it's special to us.
We got a lot of folks here tonight. I think I saw Tony too. Is he around? Is he on his computer?
Yes, it says Skitty Kusa. So that's really insane. So
we got Bill here. We got, I think Allie's here from Iron and Chrome Collective. It's so cool. Wind Road, and we're just so glad you guys are all here. Miss Marilyn, every motorcycle event pretty much at least twice a year, we look forward to doing something spectacular with you that you do that is amazing. But for those of you who don't know, Miss Marilyn, she puts on a fabulous breakfast in Sturgis and in Daytona, the Flying Piston benefit. Yeah. And then she also does the Pearls Jam. But tell us a little bit about these events, because like the Flying Piston benefit, you've had that breakfast going. I remember one of the first ones, the Broken Spoke in Sturgis in early 2000s, maybe late 90s, something like that.
That was the inspiration for it. And that was all Darcy Betlak's fault. She volunteered with her. And after they things kind of changed in the mid 2000s, nobody was doing charity stuff anymore. But the Flying Piston benefit was really another person's fault. Jeff Nager, my partner in this enterprise, he wanted to do some kind of charity thing, and he thought breakfast was perfect because you could have Bloody Marys and people can hang out and, you know, just start their day doing something for good. Yes. And I really didn't want to do it, but he talked me into it. And this is our 12th year in Sturgis, and we just wrapped up our 6th annual in Daytona.
Right.
And it's all for Strider? Is it all?
Yeah, so the concept is that we bring people together. We bring a lot of custom culture art in. We take little tiny Strider bikes and send them out to get customized, bring all this stuff back, have breakfast, have an auction. And then 3 organizations get our money after we raise it. The Strider Foundation has a program called All Kids Bike.
Yep. And
very simply, that's putting bicycle riding class into kindergarten PE. Yep. So any school, anywhere, we've got about 500,000 kids riding bicycles and PE.
2 wheels. That's right. Starting young.
Yeah, and if they ride a bicycle, there's a much better chance they'll ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kids don't ride bikes anymore. So I see it as a longer wait, but a pathway to new ridership. You know,
love it.
We gotta get them on 2 wheels.
What are the other two?
Yeah, Skidmark Garage does something called Moto Go. So Skidmark Garage is a community garage in Cleveland. And Brian Shaffron and Molly Vaughn, his wife, they do what they call Moto Go. It's a rolling shop class in a Sprinter van.
Oh, cool.
A bunch of schools, they take that van to, they do shop class with middle and high school kids.
Really?
Isn't that great?
Oh, I have to follow them. That's cool. You'll have to send me the info on that. We definitely need to promote that.
Tell me the name again. I'll type it in here.
Yeah, it's Moto Go. Skidmark Garage is their facility, and sadly, they're just not probably closing the garage because it's really, you know, a big facility, lots of overhead. But Moto Go has really taken off, so that's the program they'll continue.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
The last one is Motorcycle Missions. You know, Crystal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Crystal.
We raise some money for her veterans efforts.
That is so cool.
And we just hang out with our friends. You guys have been there a whole bunch, and you come support us. And just an easy way to get people together and do a little bit of good and pick on all your friends to help you out.
And now you are steadfastly one of the, I'd say, the biggest trailblazers for women in motorcycling when it comes to making sure that people are, young ladies and women of all ages, are seen and heard. And that's through events that you have been doing for decades. And we're grateful for that because, again, I know there's times when, I mean, you've watched me go through adversity over adversity, and we have a lot of conversations. Young girls, I get to converse with them and, you know, encourage them to go out into not just ladies only shows, you know, to go and compete with everyone, because again, that's where we really all started. And I think a lot of times I'm getting them to understand now that, you know, when they think, oh, guys look at them and say, oh, I wonder who built that for her. I tell them they do that same thing about guys that don't have shops. They're like, oh, I wonder who built that for him. So they don't make fun of just one gender. It's everybody.
Yeah, you're right. You know, I'm lucky I'm talking to 2 other trailblazers. You 2 have, you know, I think all 3 of us in our own ways have come from different directions to make a place for women in motorcycling. And there are lots of places for us. You know, we can pick that's tuned to us, but there's a place here for us. And you don't have to weld, and you don't have to build, and you don't have to, you know, ride 500,000 miles, but there are more and more places, I think, for women. I'm delighted to go to like a trade show and see all the women in the aftermarket booths.
Absolutely.
Learning the product, understanding the fitment, talking to people about, you know, how to make their bike better. It's just the knowledge base is expanding, and it's really just heartening to see it.
And I love sharing with them the fact that they don't realize it, but so many incredible women own big companies. Look at Nancy Rowe. You know, Rowe and Machine was one of the biggest in the, you know, the 70s. And that's every bench vise that you have, the aluminum covers that go over it so you don't mar up things when you're working on them. I mean, you know, you call there and she answers the phone. She still answers the phone. I don't know if she's retired. I haven't talked to her in about 2 years, but I mean, we have great women. Chris Products is run by, I believe Donna is her name. There's so many, just like, again, companies that they don't realize that there are women at the helm, and that's incredible, because when you open their eyes to that, they go, really? And they see a little more for themselves, and then now, like with what you're doing with Pearls Jams, and through Iron Lily and all the things. I mean, look at Lily and Pharaoh. Like, it's just incredible. And the fact that, again, you do so much to make space for everyone, as I'm grateful to you. I know Miss Vicki is too. She's come a long way too with her accident scene management and road guardians. I'm so proud of her, because again, we're doing, like you said, in our own areas, but we're making space for everyone. But like, she's keeping everybody safe. That's the part that I am so grateful for.
Yeah, I don't know how people think I'm keeping people safe, but anyway, I'll help you. I'll help you scrape them up.
You're teaching them how to properly handle and handle people in an accident, because a lot of times that's where it gets worse. People don't understand. I know recently you've been training paramedics and things like that, just so that their response with regard to motorcycle injuries is, on point. That's you put a feather in your set of wings every day you do that. I don't know if you know that or not, but you do.
Here's my wings today. There we go.
I love it.
Cool? Isn't that pretty? I got that from Trauma Mama, from Teresa Martinez. So,
that's so gorgeous.
Yeah, so she gave us. She's making sure our team all gets a set of wings. So, but anyway, I'll be teaching paramedics out in Rapid City in 2 weeks.
Fabulous.
So, in 2 weeks, I'm doing the Rapid City paramedic program, and I'll be out in South Dakota for 2 weeks doing training on the west side and then on the east side. So,
oh, good. I hope it's a nice spring by the time you get there.
I'm kind of hoping that myself. I'm watching.
It's been a little wacky everywhere.
Yeah. So anyway, lots of cool stuff. Yeah, Wynn Road is saying she's taking the course too. She says the best thing you can do for your fellow riders is take that class. So
listen, I've been a recipient on. I had my whoop-de-doo, and I tell you what, it was boom, 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 and it was all there, and I was just like, wow, need to know how to do that. And then that's that thing where that training is exceptional. We were talking about women in motorcycling, Miss Marilyn, but you have a thing going on now, because I know you always lift everybody up. That's what you do. And I know you always help Tony with the biker bells, and you still always attend and come and do the things that you do. But I know you've taken on your own thing that this last year was an absolute success. And I hear we're doing it again.
Ooh, Pearls Jam. Yes. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Just the concept, Pappy Hoyle, everybody talks about the founder of the Sturgis rally. Yeah, that's great, but he couldn't have done it without Pearl.
That's right.
So I never felt like Pearl got her due. So it seemed like last year we were thinking about the women who hadn't been recognized. Of course, Gloria, we all know Gloria, but there are lots of other women in the background who just really aren't seen or haven't been seen.
Right.
Even passed on and they haven't been seen. And that image that you have up there now, we weren't sure who that lady was. We found that great picture, or the graphic artist at the museum found that great picture and put it on the flyer. Then we had a call from Don Emdy. And Don said, that's a really nice picture of my mom. Where did you guys get it?
Oh,
no joke.
That's cool.
So I didn't know anything at all about Florence Emdy. And I have since learned she rode a motorcycle before she ever met Floyd. Floyd and then Dawn, the first father-son team, Daytona.
Right.
She was there way before either of them.
I love it.
So we're going to, she'll be at the top of our list this year. We have 3 trailblazers, Mary McGee, Florence Emdy, and Bessie Stringfield.
Nice.
So we're proud to raise the profile of those 3 women. And then we bring in, present women who are making strides in motorcycling and give them a chance to tell their stories. And so we're still bringing that list together, but you mentioned Dana Tilling. She's coming, and Barbie the Welder, Brittany Olson, Ellie Raines. John Davidson is going to come for his mom, Jean Davidson, and tell her Harley Davidson women's stories.
Always a fan of Jean's my whole life.
Great, right? What a sweet lady.
Oh, absolutely.
Her at Daytona at Robinson's.
All the time.
Yeah. stop in and visit them. I guess they were just all old friends from back in the day. So
yeah, in the 80s, that was a thing, when you went to Daytona, and she was always around. I think Dawn has an autographed photo from her. And it's funny because that's how I met Karen Davidson. I chased her down the street at a convention in Georgia. She had come to my seminar, but I didn't know who she was. And then my daughter, who was like 12 at the time, I saw a Harley backpack and she was wearing it. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen that yet. And my daughter's like, no, Mom, don't do it. I'm running down the street after her. I'm like, excuse me, where did you get that backpack? And she turned around, she looked at me, and the minute she did, you could see Jean Davidson in her face. I mean, she's Karen, but there's a resemblance there, the cheekbones, everything. And I kind of looked at her and she goes, oh, it's not out yet. I just finished designing it. It's a prototype. Hi, I'm Karen Davidson. I was at your seminar. And I was like, okay. Wow. My daughter's like, only you, Mom, only you. I'm like, yeah, I didn't care.
Story.
I still watch all my fashion, my Harley fashion. I'd say one day my whole class can be full of Victoria's Secrets and Harley Davidson. That's it.
That's your goal. Another one of your goals.
Yeah, it'll take me till I'm 120 to get there, but what the hell,
This is why you downsize before your kids have to clean out your stuff.
Yeah. It keeps paring down every time I have to move into a smaller house, because when you're in a house and you got a whole family, you have all this crap. Then you move into another house and you don't have them all there. So then you downsize. Then when you realize that you don't want to clean all that stuff. We were looking at houses and somebody said something, I got a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage. And I just looked at Dawn. I'm like, I don't want to clean all that. I want to go on Sunday, go ride, and I want to sweep, mop, and go. That's it, period. So yeah, we'll downsize. That's so cool.
House is the answer. You can only bring in consumables.
Oh, I like that.
You can't eat it. You don't bring it into the house.
I like it. That's a good one. I'm gonna have to try that out. Now, Miss Vicki, she's got Tony. So, and I know Tony he's got every critter in the yard. He feeds them all, the birds, the animals. I was there. I saw turkeys and deer. I think we were there in I don't know. It was, what was Chicks on 66? It was summer.
I don't know.
There were deer,
summer.
Turkeys.
Yeah.
Every kind of bird you could imagine. I saw birds I never saw in my whole life. It was pretty cool. I love your backyard. It's fabulous.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we got a little haven here. It's pretty nice.
Tony and Vicki's backyard. If you ever get a chance to stay, hang out in the garage. It's the place to be.
I know you come to Milwaukee once in a while. We'll drag your butt out here. I'll feed you and everything.
Oh, sweet. Can't pass that up.
Fabulous. So, Miss Marilyn, what's next on your schedule?
I'm actually going to go to Arizona Bike Week because I haven't been there in probably 5 years, maybe 6. Not since Clyde Fessler was alive. So he's the way I'm gauging that. I don't remember what year it was. But my daughter's in Tucson now. So
nice.
I thought, I could do this little work thing. I could see my daughter. It sounds kind of perfect.
So where do you write for magazines? Do you submit your information to different places, or?
I've really pared down. I do my own Iron Trader news blog. Jack McIntyre is my savior there. Between he and I and our overseas correspondent, Hervé Rivolo, the three of us populate Iron Trader news on a regular basis. And I write for Drag Mag and Parts Unlimited. I love working for Don Emdy's magazines. They're just so much fun. And, it's just always about kind of aftermarket stuff, friends, people I already know. It's kind of like I did the retirement articles for Kathy Somervold and Tom Monsko. How fun is that? You get to call up your friend and talk for a while and then write an article and get paid. So that's kind of perfect.
I text you pictures of it because you never get to see your writings. Hopefully you got to see them. I was like, oh, she didn't get to see those. Let me take pictures and send them to her. She's like, yeah, I did those. I'm like, oh my goodness.
So Bill is asking if you said Clive Kessler?
Clyde Fessler.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he knows.
Clive Kessler
somebody with a similar name. He was like
Clive Kessler was a fiction writer. He did paperback books. I used to read that stuff. It was one about you went into the iceberg. It was Iceberg. That was the one. Oh my God, that was brutal. That was
Clive Fessler worked for Harley Davidson. He was the style and design guy. He was the one who wanted to put a patent on the sound of a Harley Davidson. Back in
I remember when they tried to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Potato.
Right, exactly.
Potato.
He was just live wire and just a really interesting creative guy.
Yeah.
We know a lot of those, right?
Are you working on a book, Miss Marilyn? Are you ever going to write a book?
Not about me. Not that I think. I did this, the Harley Davidson CVO coffee table book.
Okay.
Back in
I remember that. I think I have that one.
I think I have that one too.
Right.
And I got to edit Gloria's book, which is just great fun.
Yeah.
I always tell people I'm a much better editor than I am a writer. I feel like if you give me this big pile of stuff, I'm really great at making it interesting and organized and readable.
Maybe you're
Really?
the original AI.
I'm the old AI. This is how AI used to look.
Right.
Computer.
The original one.
Right.
That's so
OG
funny.
AI.
That's awesome.
Vicki,
That's
I
so
might
incredible.
have to steal that. That's hilarious.
I think so. I think you'll have to put that up under your signature, Marilyn Stemp.
Get a new business card.
Yes. Put OGAI. That's what you should put. OGAI. When they ask you, you're like, I am AI before AI was around.
Was a thing.
Right.
I'm sure you both remember Terry Rordo with Thunder Press. He was one of my favorite writers. Him and Peter Egan wrote the best columns on the planet. And Terry and I used to argue all the time about, how it's better to be a really good writer, and editors are a dime a dozen. You don't really ever need an editor if you're already a really good writer. And we'd have this argument all the time. And his favorite saying to me was, Marilyn, that's how to put it, most editors are failed writers. And I said, you know what, Terry? Most writers are failed writers.
Without an editor.
He was like 6'6", wasn't he? He was super tall.
Great guy. Just loved the way he writes.
Yeah, and he was always he was genuinely wanted to be a happy person. Like his aura was always a pleasant, positive one all the time.
Yeah, wouldn't we all like to be thought of that way, huh?
That's yeah.
Funny.
I think it's so fun that you have your fingers in so many different things. Just it's fun to watch you get around, but because you've been in the industry for so long, so many people. It's really been, what's this now? Oh, Carl's Speed Shop.
Yeah, they had a bucket truck one year, so I thought that's a good vantage point if you're short. Put me
I like that.
There you go.
And then the Evil Control Museum, that's another thing. That's going to hopefully this year, as early as summer-ish.
Really?
Big Red, that truck, out to the new Evil Canoe Museum in Vegas in the Arts District.
Really?
It was in Topeka, Kansas, and before that, the brainchild of the whole thing, Lathan McKay, he and I just moved everything around to venues all over the place. Which
that's going to be over by Main Street Moto then, in Las Vegas.
Moto, yes, in the Arts District there. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, how cool!
We have a coffee shop and a pizza place in there with it, and I think it's going to in the
Evil
home.
Canoe, he was crazy cool. He was, and if people don't know the history on him, they should, because he would call ahead and pretend he was a reporter and call somebody and say, hey, are you having that crazy guy jump there? And then they call back and change his voice. Hey, I heard Evil Knievel was jumping your fountain, Caesar's Palace. And he went back and forth until finally they called him and said, hey, are you jumping our fountain? And he's like, only if you're paying me so much. But I got to see bounce checks that he bounced for gas going across the country. He had a skeleton with every bone that he broke painted where it was broken, screwed together where it was screwed together.
Yeah, we have it in the museum where we actually got it digitized. So you can touch the bone and he spins around.
Oh, how cool.
Tap in the right place, it'll take you to footage of when he broke it.
Oh, neato.
Crashed and the bone broke.
And that's in the museum, or isn't that in the tractor trailer?
That was in the Topeka Museum, and it's moving to the Vegas Museum.
Okay.
And what are they opening that museum?
Well, they're talking this year, 2026, but we're just now moving the truck out at the end of this month, and the building isn't quite finished. So I hope here.
Yeah, it looked like they were, when I was there in February, it looked like they were doing a lot of work on the downtown arts district area. They're really revitalizing that whole thing.
Yeah, I think it's a really fun area in Vegas. So different and just feels so authentic,
Yeah.
I loved it being out there. I have a crazy random question for you.
I was promised no trick questions.
It's not a trick question. It's just off the cuff. My wheels are turning. And I'm just thinking about you've seen the inception of so much in the motorcycle industry. what would you say is the one thing that inspired you the most? I mean, because you've seen it all. You've seen companies come, you've seen companies go, you've seen groups, rider groups, you've seen events, you've seen so much stuff. What's the one thing that's impressed you the most? Like, what's one thing that'll never you always think of?
Like one thing. Do I have to say one? I could give you a couple. There's women who weld. I absolutely love to see women welders. That has just like transformed my vision of what it means to work in the trades, to work with your hands, to be capable of doing that, and to push against someone who tells you you're not.
Right.
I remember stumbling upon I think it was a Facebook page of women welders of Facebook or something, and just thinking, whoa, that is just mind-boggling and just sort of life-changing to me. And it makes me feel like, we can all go tell young women, you can do this. Just look.
Absolutely.
This is really possible. Darcy Batlick had a bunch of young women that came from Volusia Tech Schools to Sunset Speed last year, not this year. And she had Shelley Rossmeyer and Jody and me and a young drag racing woman talk to them in little groups. And, I was the crazy old lady in the checkered sunglasses and act like an idiot. But you got to be memorable to 15-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
And, I just told them 3 life's lessons. Be there. Like, you're here, you showed up today. I'm reaching across and shaking your hand and looking you in the eye. And you can't do that on the screen, right? If you say you're going to do something, just do something. Like, whatever it is, send me the photo, turn in the report, whatever. Don't say you're going to do it unless you're going to do it. If you say it, follow through. And the third thing is no divas. Nobody likes divas, right? Just
Except Diva Amy.
Oh, well, we all love her.
Yeah. I mean, she's not really a diva. I mean, kind of.
But just be humble and do your thing, you know, and life will be great. Very simple lessons. And it was just really cute because one of the young girls came back about 20 minutes later and asked me to sign her shirt.
Aww.
And I just thought that was so sweet because
you leave that impact on people.
I connected.
Right. And you probably changed her life. You'll never understand the impact that you had on her, but it's incredible. You know what I mean? That's something that you touched her and it made a difference. And that's something that, it's not tangible. You can't buy that with money. And that's the thing. That's what Don and I, when we first started the shop, he never fabricated. He worked for big builders and I always had somebody fabricating. And I wanted to make something. I was building a bike, and my first bike that I ever built, and I had to build it for free to show that I could do it so that I could get it in the magazine. And then nobody wanted to put it in the magazines until I found crazy Casey Exton from Outlaw Biker, and then he wanted to take me to lunch. And then my dad's like, okay, I'll go. And he's like, I want to take her to lunch. He's like, no, I'll go. And Don's like, I'm going too. Then all of a sudden it became this happy family. But when I started welding, he was like, I came back to the shop and I had a Miller MIG welder, which I have here still, in the trunk of my car. And he's like, what are you doing with that? And I said, well, I want to make something. I want to weld some stuff on this frame, and I got some stuff I want to do. And he's like, well, I don't fabricate. And he goes, do you fabricate? And I'm like, well, I will in a little bit. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I got this book, Welding for Dummies. I mean, how hard is it can be if they make a book for dummies? I looked at that book. Then I started asking some of my good men friends, and he started asking some of his men friends. Next thing you know, it was a competition in the shop. Who was welding what? Oh, how's your welding today? Are you sizzling bacon? No, I'm having a bad day. Oh, I'll weld it for you, so we'd go back and forth. But like right now we're at an impasse because I tell them all the time, everybody's welding and they're watching it on camera. And there's no cell phones, no video cameras anywhere near, because we had a friend who had his cell phone in his pocket. He was welding, it blew up. And unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. But that was years ago. Yeah, well, so there's precautions that need to be taken. So he's very adamant about. So right now we're at that impasse. I'm like, hey, I got videos to do and I got stuff. He's like, I'm putting the video camera up in the corner. He's already got it all set up where he's setting up certain strategic things, because I told him it doesn't matter. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be safe about it. I got a shield and some other things. He's like, that's not enough, because I have to wear a full shield. I do all that stuff because the safety stuff that you wear is what's important. when you're doing it, especially when you're learning, because you go to cut something, it goes the wrong way. You can cut yourself, slice yourself, so I tell girls all the time, make sure, you wear the apron, you wear the long sleeve shirt, you wear the welding gloves, you wear the hood over your hair, put your hair up, and then wear a shield. Make sure you got your welding helmet. Don't close your eyes or try to look at it and burn your retinas, be safe about it. Then he is laughing. He's like, there's a lot of women that weld. He goes, they don't get to see you weld. I'm like, no, because Mr. I can't be on video camera because we're going to fix that. I was like, good, because Miss Vicky's going to be up your butt if you don't. That's funny. But yeah, for years, it's like, you don't realize. And then to see these young girls coming up and they're doing it, and it's like, it's so, he's like, what are you all excited about? I'm like, it's invigorating. Like, look at them. Like, and I wanted to be an astronaut growing up. And they always told me, no way. Girls can't be astronauts. You know what I mean? So there were a couple of different things that I wanted to do, and everybody was like, no. And I was like, okay. When we got to motorcycles, I was like, I don't care. And it started as a joke, whatever. That's how I ended up on a motorcycle. But I didn't give up, and I decided I was going to go after it. And listen, there's days that I'm just like, somebody will say, listen, sweetie, do you know what you're talking about? And I'm to the point now where I'm so patient, 20, 30 years, 40 years later, where it's not like, hey, don't call me, now it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I got it. But, if you got any helpful hints, just tell me now, and I'm real chill about it. But I never used to be that way because you feel like they're putting you in a corner, and it's nice to see these young girls are not there anymore. And again, it's thanks to women like you. And of course, we all have our place. And some of the younger girls who, look at Sassy Pants Kate. She's so incredible. She works on bikes. She welds stuff. She paints paintings. She's always happy. She drags the dog around. She's helping people. It's like, how, and so many more. There's like Cody. And we have so many incredible women. The girl on the, what is it? The girl on the pink sporty. I follow her. Oh my God. Is she an awesome little thing? We have great women. And you were talking about Bessie Stringfield, and I got to go with Chantel when they did the street, dedicated the street in front of the house where she lived and was born.
Cool. That's
it
great.
Was awesome. It was fabulous.
I wanted to mention that the gal that picked up the motor after I won it, and I was already back home, and there was somebody that was out there in Sturgis yet that said that they would pick it up and bring it back to Wisconsin. Didn't know the people. They were friends of a friend. And then I went to go pick it up. It was like 100 miles away. And that gal, Angela, ends up being a welder, and she's really good. That's what she does as a full-time job. She's a welder, and she was welding, like she makes art. It reminded me of Ron Finch. I walked into her garage and she got like buckets of, spoons and things like that. And she was welding things and putting together this big owl statue thing that she was putting in her garage. And the body of the owl was a motorcycle tank. It was, you just, the people that you meet through all of these things that we do.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I knew that through this project, we were going to meet even more fabulous people. And that to me is one of the very exciting things about it, is the connections that we all make.
And the people that are involved. We have so many incredible people that are involved and that want to be involved, and more coming on all the time. So that for us is like, again, that's why to rush this and try to get it done in a certain period of time, like in a 3-month time span or a 3-week time span. Again, it's not a motorcycle competition. We're not going to a show to compete with a bunch of people. And, we're collaborating. We're not competing. So collaboration is up here. Competition is down here, so that's the cool part. So it gets to take on a life of its own and really, truly be what it's supposed to be. And it's
the decision for so many reasons. I was so glad to hear that now, everything will happen in its own time without pressure and stress. And honestly, the finished product will kind of hold that great energy. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Everything was done well. You have time to give attention to the little things. And we can bring in more friends to help. So
and we'll have time, like when we weren't going to be able to have it ready for Thunder in the Beach, and like next year we will, we'll be able to take it to some of these wonderful places.
Absolutely.
And some of these shows that people would like to have it at. And, that's part of the story too. So anyway, I think we're all really happy that we're doing that. Like there was not one person who said, oh no, that's not a good idea. Every single person was like, we're on board and we're more interested in making this and staying true to our mission than we are in, trying to push it through like it's some sort of competition. That's
right. It takes 3 weeks to build a Chevy, but it takes 3 years to build a Bugatti. We're going to be more toward the Bugatti side than we want to be toward the Chevy side.
Don't go setting up these expectations.
That's my dream car, the Bugatti. And the tires are like $40,000 each.
Oh. Well, yeah, and right, like Mama Ditch said, we need, this is about the raffle too. Like we need to, have time to sell those raffle tickets. So, right, we're, all of that stuff. So we'll do it all. Now we got a frame.
The museum.
Oh yeah, we'll be seeing that.
All the partners will have more time to promote.
Yeah. The museum was trying to like do the 250th. There she is, the 250th this year, plus do the raffle for now next year. All about the raffle. So
like the angel music. Oh, when this stripe come down from the sun.
Just a minute, all three of us know that.
Gone does. Oh my goodness. I love it. That was a bad. Ready?
Come on, Marilyn.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Gotta love a little woo in your life.
Steve Massacott, Mr. Pa, Ian, everybody there at Paco. I can't thank them enough again for just making sure that we had. And like I said, they sent the whole box of everything. You know what I mean? They set the neck cups. They set all the stuff that we're going to need with this frame. Awesome. And then also BDL. Thank you again, Miss Marilyn, Scott, and Grady, and, everybody there that went ahead and went above and beyond. He's also sending me different spacers because he had questions about the motor and this and that and the other thing. And I'm like, just send it all. I'll send it back to you. Whatever I don't use, I'll send it back to you. Don't worry about it. I got you. Send it all. I'm not quite sure yet. That's why we got to do mock-up. We don't know. And that's a lot of times what people don't understand in a build. We have a sign here that says we are not YouTube certified because unfortunately in the day of social media, you can see things, even with like the Discovery Biker build off. Most people would see them build the bike in 10 days and they go on this ride, but they didn't realize that there was 3 to 6 months prep time before all of that. Of course, they assembled the bike in 10 days, which is no big deal. You know what I mean? But all the preparations were done. All the mock-up was done. Everything was done prior to that. So when it comes down to it, there's time involved, but the mock-up is the important part to make sure everything lines up. Your drivetrain lines up correctly. Your wheels, everything, your frame, all of it aligns properly. And then it runs true and you don't have any issues. And that's the time consuming part. But, like Scott sending me 3 different offset spacers for my drive unit. So again, until I get in there and put it in there, I won't know exactly which one because case size on the S&S is different than the 124 is different than the stock. And then frame, the frame had to be done. The deck height's a little different. So there's so many things that become involved in that. And people say, oh, well, I could send you throttle cables. I can send you this, but I'm like, but we don't know how long they are yet. Until we start to mock it up, then we do the measurement because we don't want honking ones that come around here. We want them nice, gracefully done, and they go. And, and then they say, oh yeah, when you look at your bike, and I'm like, because when we did the Athena After Dark thing, they did the mock-up of my logo, and they put a mock-up motorcycle in there with a girl silhouette. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but you need to take my picture and put it in there because my motorcycle don't have all that crap on the handlebars, all them cables and all that stuff and all those things hanging off. And they started laughing. They thought I was nuts. And then they looked at my motorcycle and they're like, wow, you're right. And I'm like, yeah, no, we don't do that. That's why it takes time. We don't just, how do the kids say? They make me crazy. My son and his buddies and some of the other kids, my son, not so much anymore, but we're just going to slap it together, and it's like, it's a motorcycle. You don't have 4 wheels. You leave one bolt out, you can hurt somebody. You can leave one bolt out of a car, the right bolt. You can go for 10 years, never even know it. You leave a bolt out of a motorcycle, you are literally could have the possibility of hurting someone. And that's not a chance that I would ever take because I have to look at myself in the mirror. And I pride myself on safety and being clean and pretty. And, not every day does Ron Finch come to you and say, hey, I want to take you and buy you ice cream. You have a beautiful motorcycle there. It's very simple, very clean, well done. You're just like, huh? It was funny. I told myself, well, you have to ask my husband. He's like, where is he? And I dialed him on the phone. And he's like, this Don? And he's like, who is this? And he's like, this is Ron Finch. He's like, screw you. Who is this? Why are you on my wife's phone? And he hung up on him. And I call back and I'm like, babe, it's Ron Finch. He wants to talk to you. And he's like, I want to take your wife to have ice cream across the street, but she says I got to ask your permission. He's like, yes, Mr. Finch, please do. And thank you.
What Ron actually said was, I want to take your wife and get her some ice cream.
Oh, you do such a good impression. Oh my God. Yes, exactly.
That's something we didn't know about Marilyn. She does impressions.
That's my impression. That's it.
That's it. All you got.
All I got.
That is fabulous.
Well, ladies, it is. I knew this time was going to go so fast. We were trying to keep them to 30 to 45 minutes. We're almost an hour in. Not that it matters. But
2 hours if we were drinking wine.
It was so much fun. Marilyn's got so many interesting things going on, and here's our our new the only things new about it is the 2027, but people, it gives us more time to have more people involved. If you want to be involved with this project, there are plenty of ways that you can help. So whether it be parts that you want to get involved in, whether you want to put some sort of special trinket on this bike, or help us with funding. We've got Becky Zarling is helping us with some of the printing needs. There's just so many things that people could do for us. So let us know how you would like to be involved, and we'll recognize you for doing that.
Yeah, we need parts. Anybody out there got 80 spoke wheels? That's what we're looking for. Just so you know. And then
couldn't have done this without him.
That's right. Absolutely.
Glen is integral in all of this, and is doing the paint, working with the painter and Robert Howell. I know. Graphics. Can't wait to see what he's going to do here. So
there's all our sponsors. Look at that.
Yep, we added Charlie Crew.
Yay.
We love it.
If there are any specific needs, would they be available on the website, or is there a way we could see maybe a list of like real specific things, like you said, the wheels, certain kind of wheels you want, Athena? Or
yeah, I think we could put a list up. I'll get a list. I'll finish up my list. I mean, I got my whole bill sheet, but I can put it on paper what we need right now. Like Charlie sending me the trees.
Send me a list. I'll get it up, Athena. So I can put that list up, and I can.
Sometimes people just one thing. Oh yeah, I have that, or I can do this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So for sure, that sounds great, and thank you again, Marilyn, for everything, and we'll be talking soon again.
I absolutely love talking to you too. Anytime. And
we love you too.
Get together, do it often enough, so it's just a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. Stay tuned for updates, everybody. Love you guys.